What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm going to be honest, I know I'm super late to the party with this topic, but it is still a topic to be discussed on the internet. And it's about the Tuskegee University, the little Bonnet Durag band that they kind of came up with for the upcoming year, which I am very proud of the school for doing that because it is just, it's ridiculous that we even have to do this. Should be pretty common sense, but the disagreement within the black community is genuinely a little bit interesting. Now, what Tuskegee University actually did was they introduced a stricter student attire rule for the 2026-27 academic year. And the rules prohibit students from wearing bonnets, durags, bedroom shoes, slippers, and various other non religious, non medical head coverings in classrooms and the cafeteria. The policy also restricts revealing clothing, sagging pants, t shirts worn as dresses, and similar attire in academic settings. Religious, medical, cultural, and university approved exceptions can apply. And I completely am okay with this. I'm very okay with this. There needs to be some kind of standard. And it seems like even black colleges didn't have a standard. And I'm sorry, but we shouldn't have to have this kind of rule. It should be basic common sense to not bring your ass to school with clothes like that. Like, especially like, why are you coming to class in your PJs? Look, I get it. You just got up. You had to run to bed, run to school, sit in third. It's okay. But like that was like your attire. You was coming to class with your bonnet on, looking half-ass crazy. Y'all was coming to school with durags and your pants below your ass. Yes, I'm very glad about this. This needs to be a standard set by all the HBCUs because you need to go out into the real world after you graduate, and the real world ain't trying to hear all that. Oh, well, this is just my black. No, they don't care. So I'm okay with this. I'm actually very okay with this situation because it's not really discrimination if it's us trying to tell ourselves we need a standard. These ain't white people telling us we can't do that. This is our own people telling us we can't do that, and it's about damn time. So this isn't technically a university-wide declaration that durags are banned everywhere. The restrictions primarily concern classrooms and dining areas and other designated public professional settings. So say if you guys are going on, say, a tour of like, let's say the Comcast building, since I'm here in Philadelphia. You think they want you walking around the Comcast building in a bonnet and a do rag? No, they want you to look like some damn body up in there. Or like, say if you in Washington and you going through the White House, you might meet the president. You might not want to meet this president, but you might meet the president. They don't want you looking half crazy. You represent us when you step outside this building, when you step outside this campus. You represent the school, and we are tired of looking like we have no standard. Every other school got a setting, got a setting, a standard. Okay, and the fact that the black school has to be the one to say you can't wear bonnets, do rags, and all that other shit when you're in class or in the dining area. You got to look like somebody. Good. Break that in now before they have to learn the hard way later. I'm sorry, I'm good with that. There are other changes too, like classroom cell phone use is being fairly restricted. Attendance expectations have been tightened, and students are expected to arrive at Tuskegee with appropriate business attire for occasions requiring it. So you don't have to wear a suit to class every day, but if we're having, say, a formal or a function, you gotta wear business attire. Good. Put that suit on. Learn how to wear a suit. Learn how to wear a dress. Learn how to wear a lady suit. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to wear like a sweater with the pants and some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like learn how to do that. Like I don't know what black people like what the problem is with black people with this shit. It's like at some point in time you have to have a standard that you have to meet to some degree. The black community standards are pretty much in the ground at this point, but there was a time where this was not an issue. So I do understand where the universities are looking back on their older generations and going, we didn't look like this 50 years ago, 40 years ago, but now we do. We need to get back to this. So I'm did it, yo. And why Tuskegee said it's doing this is because President Dr. Mark Brown has been very straightforward about his reasoning, career preparation, and that's the reason. And career preparation, his argument is basically Tuskegee isn't only responsible for educating students academically, it should prepare them for how they're going to be perceived when they enter professional environments. This should not be an issue with black people. But all over TikTok, it's been an issue. All over TikTok, all over Instagram, people complaining about it. Why are you complaining about it? Why do you want to go out the house looking half ass crazy all the time? Like, I don't mind going outside in some sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? You got on some sweats and a tee. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got on some sweats and a tee. But damn, the least you could do is look like like, oh, look, I'm going to the supermarket. Let me put on my sweats real quick. Oh, I'm going out for a walk. Then you wear some, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind sweats. I do mind the pants being below your ass because what are you doing, bro? And I do mind you walking around looking like you just got out of bed and stepped out the door. You look like you didn't even wash up. No, I like that standard, bro. I ain't even going to hold you. Brown says conversations with employers and CEOs helped shape his thinking. He has emphasized first impressions and argues students should practice navigating professional environments before graduating rather than learning those expectations afterwards. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly where I stand with that. You need to learn this shit now, not later on when it's too late. That's why the Asian boy walks in and gets the job. That's why the white boy walks in and gets the job because they already know how to walk in and look like somebody before they get into the situation. Not, oh, I got to learn as I go. And then by the time I figure it out, 12 other people done got hired before me. They're trying to set y'all up to come in first place for once, and y'all still complaining. Like, I don't like, and yeah, there's been pushback. There have been a lot of black people who are like, "Nah, nigga, put that suit on and get out there." Yes, absolutely. If you're gonna be at a college, rock the college, rock that look. It's time. It's time. The black community needs the standard set. I don't see anything wrong with this. And there's some historical context here that I think is like kind of getting lost. This isn't completely new at Tuskegee in 2025, 2026 handbook already prohibited sleepwear outside of residence halls and specifically prohibited men from wearing durags and certain other headwear inside university buildings. The new rules broaden and emphasize those expectations. Why some people support it? There's nothing wrong with teaching young adults that different environments have different standards. And the black community absolutely, even outside of the HBCUs, do not teach a damn standard. You do not have to look like what the hell you want to look like everywhere you go. When you go to a hospital, oh God, I be in Philly. Some of the clothes these women wear just coming into the hospital, I'll be like, what the hell are you wearing? You're in a hospital. Like, what are you trying to do here at the hospital? Or sometimes a brother just like show up to a certain event. I'm like, my man, why are you dressed like that? It is just like there needs to be some kind of standard. I'm sorry, and that's what happens when you don't set a standard. You got people walking into establishments dressed all kinds of crazy, and I 100% so like it is this durags and bonnets aren't bad. That's not the argument. There's just a time and a place for them. There's a time and a place for everything. And I'm over the black community with this. Nah, man, there shouldn't be no like every time there is a standard, there is an argument. No, there needs to be a standard somewhere. Just with the black community, there's no standard. There needs to be a standard somewhere. And a student can wear whatever they want in their dorm, around campus casually, at parties, etc., while recognizing that walking into a classroom or professional event might require something different. Yes, some Tuskegee alumni have publicly defended exactly that philosophy, and HBCUs emphasizing presentation isn't something Tuskegee invented in 2026. Institutions including Morehouse and Hampton have histories of enforcing dress standards. There's also an interesting practical component. Tuskegee operates that Golden Tigers Community Closet, which helps students obtain appropriate professional clothing if cost is a barrier. So you could just go to the school and get some free business clothes. I know community college did that. CCP used to have this thing where like, oh, you got a job interview, or you got to stay there, or you can come over to this building. Um, what was it? Was it the computer building? Something like that. The business building. And they had like a joint with some like some dress shirts, some dress pants and stuff like that you can get from the school and rock out if it was too expensive to buy your own. And it's really not that expensive. You can go to like a K and G and get some pants and a shirt, maybe like $70 for both, depending on what you're getting. You can go to any random like hole in the wall clothing store that sells like business attire, and you don't got to spend as much. You could go get stuff on sale. Shit, go on Amazon. Go on Amazon. You can find some stuff there too. You know what I'm saying? I found some really cool dress shoes when I went on Amazon that I really like. I can just slide them on. They kind of operate as like a boot slash uh business shoe. They kind of like operate as both, and they good. They comfortable. I can slide my foot right in them. They go up my ankle a little bit, so it's a little bit on the warmer side for business shoes, but not super warm. You know what I mean? So I still got to wear like a certain type of sock in the winter, but it's better than trying to slide on the actual professional shoe and then tying it. And this, and you don't even got to tie these; they just slide right on. You know what I mean? So think of it like that. Why some black people oppose it. This is where the conversation becomes much deeper. Critics say, why should an HBCU reproduce standards that historically stigmatize black cultural expression? Jesus. Durags in particular aren't simply fashion accessories. They're functional hair care garments closely associated with black hair. Hair care is something that really should go down inside the house. Like, I don't need a do rag on when I'm outside. If I got the do rag on, I'm covering up what I was caring for in the first place. That's why I don't understand the wig argument. And bonnets similarly protect hairstyles and textured hair, even though y'all don't even wear y'all hair out anyway. So the fun, always got a wig on or some shit. So critics see a problem with a historically black institution identifying cultural black garments as inappropriate for public academic environments. And the thing that I got a problem with is this. The only time I ever see people of other races wearing hair garments is if it's like a special occasion. Like if I see Muslim people are Muslim people, so they, Muslim women, they garb up. They're allowed to garb up. It's a religious thing. So if they have a hijab on, they'll have a suit on with their hijab, and it look good actually. They wrap it around, they got it nice and fit. They look good, no complaints. Um, that's the only thing I can really think of. Some Muslim men, they'll have like the kufi on, but they'll have the hat, but they'll also have a suit on. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not understanding where the argument comes in, because it's not historically black to walk around with a do rag on, and it wasn't. This just wasn't the case. And the Tuskegee sophomore class president, Rain Caldwell, made essentially this argument. She said black students already understand how to navigate predominantly white professional spaces, and questioned why an HBCU should recreate those expectations with one of the few environments where black students constitute the majority. Because it has nothing to do with being white. It has nothing to do with being white. And this is why I swear black women kill me with this shit. Every time there's a standard, there's a problem. No other community has this problem. There's standards that they don't like, but there's a standard that they follow. And my problem is that it's about you representing yourself. You don't have to look half ass crazy to do it. This was like the black community accepts any fucking thing. At some point it's gotta be, you know what? This ain't it. This ain't it. Let's just, like I said, the whole thing, it just doesn't make any sense. Why can't you just look like somebody? And this is where Tyler Perry actually kind of got me with what was it, Big Happy Family, and she was cussing out Byron, and she was like, "Why you gotta have your pants below your ass? Pull your pants up, look like somebody." That's how I feel. Look like somebody. There be some people of other races that go out looking half-ass crazy, but why we gotta do it in the majority? It's like we see everybody else do it, we just go overboard with it. And that's where the phrase respectability politics, and oh my God, this respectability politics, we're the only community that uses this term. I've never seen white people say it. I've never seen Asian people say it. I've never seen Hispanic people say it. I've never seen Indian people say it. Pacific Islanders, whoever. I have never heard any other race use the words respectability politics at all. And why are we, our black students, being taught to modify themselves to satisfy somebody else's definition of professionalism? Because that's what it is. If you want to, first of all, black people have been trying to work in white corporate for decades. So yes, unfortunately, we don't run these corporate offices. So if you're going to go work for somebody, you need to listen to what the fuck they want. Now, I would have issues if they were telling you to straighten your hair, or or cut off your dreads, or this, that, and the third. I would have so many issues with that. I would have so many issues with that. If they were telling you that you can't wear a black hairstyle at their establishment, then I would have an issue. Like, oh, you can't wear braids, you can't have a high top fade like this and that. I would have huge issues with that because that's discriminating black hair as a whole. But I don't have an issue with this. Some black academics have connected the controversy to a much older historical argument about black Americans believing that proper dress, speech, and behavior could protect them from discrimination. Absolutely not. And no one's saying that it would. We know this. But that doesn't mean we have to walk around here half ass stupid either. We should still do it, not for them, but for us. It's about us at the end of the day. Fuck everybody else. It's about us. That's it, that's all. And to be honest with you, all this historical shit only just amplifies my point of we still looked like somebody. We were still somebody. You know what I'm saying? I am a man. They was wearing suits out there protesting. They wasn't out there with their ass out. They wasn't out there looking all like they don't know how to put a sentence together. They was articulated black people wearing suits, fighting for black people to be treated equally. And that's the point. If you want to go historical, let's go historical. So I mean, no, like this is ridiculous. It's always some argument for why black people have to move a certain type of way. This is why Jasmine Crockett is going through. She's going through, in my opinion, because she has the look, but her mouth and attitude is egregious. Then there's this generational component. I think this might actually be one of the most interesting aspects. A lot of older black Americans seem to look at this and think, what's controversial? You don't wear pajamas, bonnets, or durags to class. We were taught to present ourselves like adults. My mom is one of those people. My mom has never worn a bonnet outside the crib. My mom actually has to argue with my sister about wearing bonnets and shit outside. My mom was like, I'm not going nowhere with you looking like that. I'll be like, oof. Whenever I'd have a do rag on, mom be like, you can't wear that outside. You take that shit off. I'm like, okay, mom, take it right off. It just is what it is. Some younger black Americans respond, I'm paying thousands of dollars to attend college. Why does what I'm wearing on my head affect my ability to learn calculus? And in their defense, good argument. That's a good argument. It's about presenting yourself as a goddamn respectable human being. It ain't got nothing to do with your academic ability or anything like that. It's about the standard of representation. Y'all always talk about how black people are treated like this, we're treated like this, we're looked at as this, that, and third. Okay, so then why don't you break the stereotype? Why not just break the stereotype? Oh, I look like what? Watch this. And then what are they gonna complain? Oh, you look too professional? Well, guess what, nigga? What's up? Are you mad that I look better than you in your own shit? What's good? And then you go from there. But don't be like, oh, black people look like this, that, and third, and then get mad, but then proceed to look like it and then not care. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to some degree, it needs to be set. And neither argument is really about a piece of fabric. They're arguing about what an HBCU is supposed to prepare you for. The traditional HBCU philosophy is education plus discipline plus presentation plus professionalism prepare black students to compete in a world where they may be judged more harshly. No may about it. They absolutely will be, which is why the standard needs to be set because of that reason. The modern counter argument is education plus authenticity plus cultural acceptance prepare black students to succeed without reinforcing standards that unfairly stigmatize black expression. Again, I don't mind authenticity. Authentic is one of the greatest things black people have for us. But again, there needs to be a set standard as to why and where we make authenticity draw a line. There needs to be a line somewhere. There needs to be a line drawn somewhere in the sand. And this whole cultural acceptance thing, there's a lot of things in the black community that's been accepted as cultural that we really need to get rid of. If you want me to be completely honest with you, that's why I did that video a while ago with that F the Streets movement. I said, absolutely, that has become a black cultural problem that we really need to deal with. I am not for that shit. So there's a lot of cultural things still in the black community that I'm not for. And this is one of them. This whole presentation, respectability politics bullshit needs to go out the door. And we need to look like some damn body. There's this like gender question, like durags and bonnets are culturally related but aren't necessarily perceived identically. A durag can be hair maintenance plus fashion plus a little cultural expression. A bonnet traditionally has a stronger association with sleeping and protecting hair at home. So someone could reasonably support restrictions on bedroom slippers and bonnets while questioning why a durag automatically falls into the same category. A durag has a negative stereotype to it. As much as I hate to say it like that, but a do rag does have a negative stereotype to it. Most niggas you see wearing do rags, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, not all of them, is them niggas is walking around here with they like walking around the hood, just walking around the fucking do rag on, looking crazy. Remember back in the 2000s, 50 used to rock that do rag all the time. LL used to rock that do rag all the time. You know, he had a baldy, but you know, the do rag used to have a very different connotation to it outside of hair protection. That was some gangster shit niggas used to wear. It's true. So I kind of see where the do rag falls into play. I used to wear my do. I used to sleep in my do rag though. I would sleep in it, get up in the morning. Sometimes I would go out with it on. 'Cause I'd be like, fuck it, I don't feel like taking it off. And then some days I was just like, I'm taking my dewey off. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm outside with it. Now, com- conversely, Tuskegee's policy doesn't exclusively single those out. It covers hats, caps, hoods, bandanas, and other non-approved head coverings too. That nuance does matter. It does actually matter. I mean, I'm gonna wear my hood to class. I might not have the hoodie up, but I'm gonna wear that hoodie if it's cold. I'm not about to be sitting in class. You know what I'm saying? It's freezing. So y'all should argue the hood thing. Just don't have the hood up during class. That's all you got. Just don't have the hood up during class. You could be in class with the hood on. Just don't have the hood up. Just have like the hoodie on you. It's warm. It's comfortable. And then you like when you get out of class, you're going back to put the hood right on up and walk. So the strongest argument on each side. Pro Tuskegee. College isn't only about academics. Tuskegee has historically produced black professionals who enter environments where appearance affects opportunity. Teaching students when and how to present themselves professionally is part of preparing them for success. The anti policy students don't need their HBCU policing culturally black hairstyles and garments. They're not attacking hairstyles. To teach professionalism, teaching students how to dress for an interview is different from telling adults they can't wear a do rag while eating lunch. And that second distinction is where it can become debatable. Career fair, professional attire makes obvious sense. Job interview, absolutely. Presentation, sure. Convocation, understandable. Random Tuesday lunch in the cafeteria, not so much. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I do get that. But again, they want y'all to look like somebody no matter where the fuck you are. Because any opportunity could come at any point in time. And if you run into that opportunity and you look half ass stupid, then what? You'll be like, well, they don't really carry themselves well. I mean, this shouldn't affect them, but it does. And that's harder to connect directly to workforce preparation. But let's be honest, even in the cafeteria at the workplace, you're not going to look like that. The classroom falls somewhere in between. So it's a lot of things that we need to really go into. And the black community, just like I said, I think it's teaching professionalism. I don't give a damn about this whole respectability politics thing. I think it is stupid as hell. I think that is a nice term that we've come up with to deflect any form of accountability or standard on ourselves. We need to remove that shit from our language. Point blank, period. Now, you know, this is actually a little bit of a longer video. I didn't think it was gonna be this long, but yeah, man, no, I'm with it. I'm with it 10 out of 10. So let me know how y'all feel down below. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Also, I want to give a little shout out to everybody. As y'all can see, I posted, I just made 500 subscribers. I think as with this video, I'm like at 502 subscribers. So I'm actually climbing, yo, and this feels good. I was like, yo, I really woke up to 500 subscribers the other day. Yo, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's go. Um, yeah, man, just keep sharing my content, keep liking and commenting. You guys are helping me grow. I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys on the next one.